Hey, afternoon, everybody. I may lose my mic. I see I'm starting to get some lights now. Ah, you've got the Wicked Lady Hippie at the bar, and we are live. So, need to let everybody know this is just for entertainment purposes only. And I'm not sure I'm that entertaining, but I still get up here. Yes, I'm fidgeting. I always fidget when I get up here. So, let's see. Background: Army veteran, published author, retired. My grandson is also a Army veteran, so that gives you a clue. And I'm getting a prompt in my ear that's telling me I have low battery, so I don't know why. We're in Augusta, Georgia, so I wanted to let everybody know that I probably will not be up again until next week. Might be sometime after next week, actually. The weather's supposed to be better for the next week, starting tomorrow. So we've been running about getting extra supplies, doing all of those things. Although Waffle House is always open, so get that desperate and just go by there. So my mic might drop out. Hopefully, my regular mic will pick up and let me know. I will edit, check, throwing in live chat. So you guys, if you want to pop in, have a drink, have a laugh, come on over. I'm doing all kinds of things at once. Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk. Don't forget that young man that was assassinated. Did not know all the things that he was doing. I knew him as the guy that was the prove me wrong guy to me. Didn't know his wife, kids, none of that. Didn't know any of that stuff. But somebody deliberately massacred this boy in front of the world, and I haven't heard much since. And Candace Owens, bless you, girl, bless you, but Woosa, be careful. She seems to be the only one that I've seen won't let go of it. She wants to know what happened to her friend, and she's not the only one. What I want to know is why I hit my knees when I heard the news. I had just walked in the door from shopping, and President Trump had said they were lowering the flag to half mast that Charlie Kirk had died. And I just hit my knees. And for some reason, I turned to my husband, who's coming in with groceries, and I said, "This smacks of JFK." And I don't know why I said that. And it turned out I was absolutely right. They've paved over where the man was massacred. They've done all this stuff to hide, if you ask me, everything. I'm still having a trouble buying the furry guy with his dad's World War One rifle. I'm still having trouble with the security team that was paid millions that he owned, did not check a deliberate roof. That was the perfect assassination point. All of that, just you just don't walk on campus and say, "I'm going to do this." So let's keep him out there, and God bless. I'm not going to trash the widow or the kids, but something ain't right here. It just don't pass the smell test. So we'll leave politics on that point because apparently he became political as well. But I knew him as a good Christian young man, and that's how I'm going to remember him. And I hope others do as well. There's a whole lot of shaking going on. So pop in, hit the live chat, hit the stream, comment, do something out there, guys. I do not make money doing this. I'm not averse to making money doing this. I just don't make any. People have asked me, why do you get up there and do this? Well, because it's the greatest thing I've seen in new tech almost. We can actually see each other, talk to each other in real time, live, and be a half a world away. It is so fucking awesome. Yes, this is not for kids. If you got any kids, please remove them because sometimes the army slips out. So I don't know what everybody wants to talk about. I see I've got music going in the background, and I know that you can't do that where they can hear it. So I'm praying my microphones will stay in this stuff until I can get through a few minutes up here with y'all. So again, I'll touch on the point they're saying that Georgia will get at least an ice storm. I've been through an ice storm here. It was horrific. You're standing outside watching trees implode. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I've been through floods, tornadoes, hurricanes. Literally, through my backyard, I've had three tornadoes, and one was during the hurricane. I've gone through three earthquakes, two are in Georgia, and one in Italy. And the one in Italy was, it was bad. So, I mean, I'm not averse to seeing and being in disasters. I used to work with the Red Cross. Of course, I was Army, all those things. So you got out there, you did your job. You did what you could, um, no matter what. And I still do, although I'm retired now. And I don't, I just don't seem to have any time. I have less time now than I did when I was working two jobs and going to college and raising a kid. So I may have to drop out of my microphone. So I hope you can still hear me. Um, There was several things I wanted to touch points on, but everybody's going, this system has come through and it's bad. There's already been 100-car pileup somewhere up north. I'm not sure exactly where. It looks like maybe Wyoming, Nevada area. I don't know, but it was horrific. There's just tons and piles of snow and nothing but cars in and out of each other. Just a mess. In Georgia, you didn't get this. I've been here on and off for 30 years after I married a Georgia boy. Now, he was born below Macon, Georgia. This is supposed to drop down to at least Macon, Georgia, or below. This is horrific for Southerners because they're not prepared. They're not, if you go out and drive in an ice storm, you're going to either see a lot of wrecks or you're going to be in one. That's a given. You can't, these states are Southern and they're just not used to it. I was born in Chicago, so I used to walk to school with 5 feet of snow. You didn't get a day off for snow. Here, if it looks like it might snow, they got a job. So they're probably looking forward to the end of the weekend next week. This is supposed to be an event that's going to come through and it may last a week. It may last longer. They don't know. This is a whole northern witch that's come down through here. And again, I went through an ice storm once here. And ice is so much heavier than snow. Even snow in the south covering wires is almost heavy enough to bring them down, depending on the accumulation. Luckily, that doesn't happen very often. But the ice storm that we lived through here was horrific. And here we are. We're not quite over the hurricane that tore us slap to death. Augusta was shut down for a month. I know. My leg was shattered. And my knee was, and my ankle wasn't even attached. The day it hit, I was due for surgery. So I had to wait because the city was down. It had no power for weeks. So you can imagine you're in pieces and you're being held together by a Band-Aid kind of thing, and they don't give you pain pills or nothing. Then they find out, well, you can go to the ER and they can give you 3 days worth. It took a year for me to get back on my feet. So this is my second channel. So if you see me, recommend me, tell others about me, tell me what I'm doing wrong. I usually don't drop videos unless I'm asked to, because I figure you've all seen them and we should just go ahead and talk about the shit. This bar is mine. We're at home. It's a big bar. It's a Remington, with the big mirror, the glasses, all that stuff. And it's got refrigerator, ice machines. We've got all that. We rearranged the entire house and got rid of stuff. So the whole bottom floor is pretty much the bar. I love this. Do not need an Uber and I can get up here. I'm broadcasting basically from the bar because I injured my leg and things so bad that I cannot go. We were going to turn the extra room into my studio. I can't get up there very easily, and I don't want to try. So I'm going to broadcast from the bar. When I initially started this 2 years ago, I didn't think too many people at the, that had the bar. I mean, Shay, drinks and stuff. Joe Rogan. Hey, Joe. I've been watching this news radio. Love you. Hated what happened there. See, there's a couple that I watched, and they had bars. Bill Maher's a good one. He's got the bar. But at first I thought, oh, this is kind of unique. So I can go ahead and do it this well. We're refurbishing and modeling a house. So I'm up here trying to figure all this stuff out. And I kind of like it up here. I like it at the bar. I call these my stiffeners. When I was growing up, I was adopted by parents who were from World War II. They went through World War I, the Depression, World War II. They had some shit. And the women sometimes would faint. And the men, of course, would give them a shot of whatever they had in the house. These women never hit a floor. The couch, the chairs. After the second or third stiffener, they go, I'm good. I go make dinner. Loved it. So, but I call it that because I get up here and I'm talking literally to myself, trying to make myself understand that I want everybody out here. Let's talk, let's laugh, let's have a drink. Let's enjoy this medium. If you're in Hawaii and you're talking to me here in Georgia, it's flicking awesome. It's a great thing. And I can see my headphones have gone off. Completely got no power. I don't know why it's doing that. It's telling me it's got a low battery, but it won't even stay up. I don't think. I may have to keep turning it on and off, and I don't know why. So we're probably going to just try to just get through this, and without that means I can take these off. So you'll have to bear with me. I have all the stuff on to hold those up. because ordinarily they won't hold. So I'll talk a little bit louder in the hopes you can hear me. If not, well, we'll just try to get through this again. I had decided to throw a quick up here because, like I said, with the storm coming in Georgia, technically you don't. If you see snow, it's great because it's going to melt. But by the time it gets on any surface, you might see it for a couple hours even. But it's not going to stay. But that's not what worries me. It's the ice storm, and we've been through one, and again, it crippled the city too. These wires are not geared also to accumulate ice on them. Ice is heavy, and they'll go down. Now we have a fireplace. Uh, we have grills, we have a generator, we have all these things. I worry about other people, and I worry about the animals that are outside right now in Georgia. We have more or less an animal sanctuary. We feed anything that comes through. They throw out puppies, they throw out kittens. So we keep food out twice a day, and I check water twice a day, this kind of thing. The hurricane destroyed my hothouse, and it broke my heart. My husband had built that for me, that put the floors and everything. It was great. But that was the only thing it took out. All the trees that came down were just absolutely amazing. We had forest on the side, forest in the back. We now have like 5 trees. We had 3 come down in the backyard. Then we had 2 that were removed by insurance because they were right over the house and they were going to go. And it's amazingly expensive for them to do this. My husband was going out and with a friend of his, they had the equipment to come out and pull trees off and just cut them up and move them out of the way so people could start repairing. But we were so lucky. We had glass tables out back. We had glass tables on the front porch. None of those got hurt. The grill never even moved. But I know for a fact that the tornado is what took out the hothouse. I used to chase tornadoes way back, way back. Wi-Fi. We have none of that. I just had a screaming friend in the car while the hail took out the windshield. So I got a life. I should write that book. So let's see now. So again, this is why you may not see me for a little while. Subscribe, hit that button. It's free, and it'll just tell you I threw one up. Generally, I try to do this every day between 12 and 3. And again, I seem to be more busy while I am retired than before. Like right now, I'm rushing speaking to you because I've lost this kind of power already, and we don't know what power we're going to lose from starting tomorrow when the event will hit. They're assuming Macon and below. Now we're here in Augusta. There's a dip. The Augusta area might miss it if we're lucky. It may just go down up into Macon, but it might still miss us and hit the Carolinas. We're only 9 miles from South Carolina, which is where I trained for boot camp over in Columbia at Fort Jackson. And so I know they'll get beat up. North Carolina for sure will get beat up, I believe. So there's many states that are in the middle of this and they're just waiting. Texas has been slammed already and it will be here in the next, say, 28 hours at best. So we've been grabbing supplies and trying to get all that done, trying to make sure that we have cat food supplies for those that are homeless, trying to put more heat in the plant house that my husband put together as a tent because he had to do it so fast. And I was still broken. I couldn't do anything for a year. And so I've just gotten back on my feet. Now we're getting this mess. So he's putting together some more heat outside so that the cats will have some place to shelter because we're supposed to be below freezing for a week, even during the day. And I think they're a little off on that. But if they're not, and we have the ice that accumulates out there, and that has happened only the one time, but it was the damnedest thing I've ever seen. Apparently, when live trees freeze, they explode. Well, they implode. So we lost a bunch of trees then the hurricane came. And so now we don't have all that. I loved it because it was so private. We were basically almost surrounded by a forest. So it was wonderful. We loved it. Now there's like 5 trees, but nobody's home got hit in our subdivision, right where we're at on the corner. Anyway, the people that we knew had trees coming down everywhere. I've never ever. We're still putting tree outside where they can be picked up. It's that bad. People are still cleaning up these trees, and I was amazed at how many trees some houses got hit with or just missed them, just like us. All you could see in the backyard, and I could see my neighbor from my kitchen window. I could never do that before. You couldn't do that. You didn't see anybody over there. All you saw was trees. even in the trees, because I had walked around and stuff. I mean, it was a nice little thing. They're all gone. And like I said, we were fortunate. So there's lots to talk about out here in Georgia lately. Earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, and ice storms. And now we're looking forward to another one. The problem with that in the South is, again, they're not prepared to do it. But they have gotten better since the ice storm in particular. They do have salt trucks and things, to do something with. When that ice storm hit, we had no warning. And I had some premonition, I think, because I had gone and got a bunch of things, food and so forth, that I could cook, say, on a cook stove for a camping stove. So, and I had a bunch of firewood, and my husband was mad at me about it, but I had a cord of firewood delivered, which we used, and kept the house only at 60 degrees because it's a split level home. And so it was difficult to keep the heat down here, but we kept it at 60 as long as we kept that fire going. And it turned out to be difficult to do that because of the rain and the sleet and the snow. We had it up on our porch. Usually it's in a good spot, but this was being whipped by winds, so it was it was semi wet. It wasn't wet wet, but you had to find other things to, because a piece of paper wouldn't light it. You had to, and once you had the coals, the embers going, you kept that, and then you could keep your logs on there. We were lucky; we had less than 24 hours, and the power was restored. But we know of, including my son's subdivision, which is a new one. Some other friends of ours were about 2.5 miles away, and they didn't get power back for over 2 weeks. My son didn't get power back for over a week. It was freezing. They had to go to a hotel. I couldn't believe they actually found a room right here in town, but they did it immediately. Their daughter was still little. I think she's about 4 or 5 years old at that point. Their son is 13 years older. So, surprise. So that's why we moved down here. We took their first home so that they could get a bigger home because the bank wouldn't let them keep both. And we were about to buy a lake house and retire, and we were close to a lake. So I love Augusta, though. It's crazy. I've never lived very long in any place in my life, and I've been here 15 years. This is the longest I've lived anywhere in my life, anywhere. Even in Chicago, I left when my parents retired after I graduated and I had enlisted. So I only spent 16 years, I guess, there in Chicago. And then here is 15. So there's one other place I spent a little longer, but I wasn't in the same house. That sounds like I should write a book. So, but I've been here in this house, and it's been wild. I love the home. My husband fusses at it a lot. It's a lot of work for old people. We have a big RV though. We got that used to be parked next to us on the driveway, and during that hurricane that hit us, I think that was the only reason that the house didn't sustain such severe damage, like the glass tables and stuff, because it came out past the porch, and then there's a pole behind that was right behind it, because we could hear the rain slashing at that wall. And I'm getting calls from VA. Maybe I should hurry to get there for surgery, and this is at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's just hitting that wall. And I'm freaked out because I had lived here 14, 15 years. And I'd never, ever, you couldn't hear the rain hit that wall ever. I mean, when there was no cars parked in it, you couldn't hear any rain. So this stuff was coming, and you could see it. And I couldn't get up. I couldn't move around. I had to be helped. I couldn't go more than 6, 7 steps with the crutches. I didn't realize how old I was. It turns out it's a little rough to hold all your weight down one leg after all. Just catch me, catch me, catch me. So I was like, okay. So we're trying to go, and there's trees down, there's howling. I mean, we're in the middle of the tornadoes and the hurricane. We're trying to get to the VA, which is like 5.5 minutes normally. They call me after like 20 minutes, and they go, "Well, never mind." We're like, we're in the car, and they're saying, "Don't worry about that. The surgeons aren't coming in." Which I said to my husband just before they called, like, "The surgeons ain't gonna make that shit you watch." And then they didn't re up the medicine, and it was, don't worry about your leg. If the bone will probably grow back together, but we can break it and then reset. And already it's broken. It's in pieces. It's in jagged pieces, and you can't move. So my husband, he was great about this. This was September. It's hot. And he got the generators out, and he got the fans going, and we ended up watching local TV, and we were surprised that came in. So it was in desperation time. My son had bought me a whole bunch of books, um, little puzzle books and stuff like that. Sent a bunch of books for me to read because I love to read. but you can't use your tablet and all that if you can't power everything. We could power the refrigerator and the areas where he was trying to cook. We couldn't power the stove too. It was, I don't know, it took too much from the refrigerator, I guess. But he had set up a table so that he could use the cooking stove and stuff from when we went camping. So it worked out great. He managed everything. He took care of the outdoor cats, took care of the indoor cats, and we have those two. We used to have nothing but chows and a chow husky, and when they passed, it was so disheartening to us we couldn't do it. We just could not take it. So we didn't rescue any more dogs, and now we now I'm the crazy cat lady. It's so bad that when we drive in the house, we're coming out from shopping and we drive up, especially in my car. That's what's the truck. But if I'm out and my car comes out, you see cats coming for 3 blocks. They know the routine. I feed them as soon as I wake, which is always daybreak, basically before dawn breaks. It's just the schedule I've always had, and so I'm out there feeding them as the sun rises, and then I also feed them in between 3 and 4, so depending on how fast dark gets here, since everything changes on the times. And I want them to eat while it's still daylight before they have to go hole up because it's freezing. I don't worry about them so much during the summer, but I know that they know where to eat, and it's other people who feed them. The mailman even drops off food. Our neighbor across the street, when they moved, they had to go to Germany. They got orders for Germany. They brought over a 50-pound bag of cat food. They've been feeding them. So everybody's feeding them. It's not just here, but boy, I'll see. And then they will suddenly they won't be there, which breaks my heart. I know some people in the neighborhood adopt them. So again, if you're in Augusta, Georgia, hit the comments. Live chat, hit something if you could give us a help of anything, even veterinarians, if they could do these spade and neuters at a lot less expensive cost, there wouldn't be so many of them out there. If they did a trap and release program, which they don't in Richmond County, and Richmond County is a kill shelter. So we don't want to trap them and then send them off to be killed. We just can't do that. Um, I don't believe in organized religion for a lot of reasons. I'm not kissing anybody's ring. Uh, no, not doing that. I don't believe Jesus had them doing that. And the rest of them is, they've got enough to buy a plane. Again, this that one always cracks me up. I can't figure out how they go. He's got one plane. Well, let's give him more money. Maybe he needs two. So I'm like, what the flip? I was watching wildest police chases just to get away from what was going on with the news. After they abducted the Venezuelan president and his wife, I said, Donnie, you may have some feedback from that one. I call him Donnie. I'm not being disrespectful. Everybody's got a nickname. Like Gator Gitmo. I call it Gator Gitmo, not Alcatraz or whatever it is. They named it Alligator Alley, I think. But no, I named it Gator Gitmo. I wish they'd put some more folk in there. I've enjoyed watching them go on these and go and take back Maseratis and Lamborghinis from the Somalians who are running. It's for the children. I love the guy with the Maserati. No, 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 you can't take this. This is mine. It's for the children. How many children can you fit the fucking Maserati? And where the hell are you taking them? 9 million. No, I'm sorry, 9 billion. They've built from the system, and they're not in jail. I don't get that. The one that had the Lamborghini, the woman, she was just nuts. I've not been here for 5 minutes. Our funding will be in this week. This is not you. What do you mean it's not my car? So I'm afraid that the bank dried up, and pretty soon they're $1 million homes and those wonderful cars they've got, and they are repossessing them now. I do wish they'd put some more on there. So I love it. I got to say also, when the boats were headed this way with the drugs, and they're and we go, more boat. Stop that shit. You don't get to kill Americans anymore. And it turns out you can put up a fence. You just got to have the right man to do it. Cheers, Donnie. It's a bar. Get over it. So there's that in a nutshell. I love the Gulf of America too, by the way. When Hillary heard it and busted out laughing, I'd have loved to have been a fly on the wall with Jim, and then she found out there is a female vice president. She was loopy as fuck, but it was fun. I mean, fuck it. It was weekend at Bernie's. Was anybody doing anything? I think they were selling pardons with the auto pen, but that's about it. Old Dr. Jill was probably in on all that, making sure that Hunter had picked up his cocaine out of the White House before they found it. Oops. That laptop wasn't real. That was just Russian propaganda. The Russians have fucking been busy, haven't they? Poor things. They've been blaming shit on Russia for 60, 70 years. Even Putin should be tired of that shit by now. The scary part is he's hooked up with China. That's freaking scary. I don't care what you say. Must have been a 200 million man army released in Revelation book. That's why I say I don't believe in organized religion. Jesus was real. The Turing, it's real. Do your research. You got Google or what the hell ever. Bing sucks, but you whatever you use. If you don't think so, then pop in here a live chat comment. We'll help each other out. So yeah, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe in teachers. I believe in Buddha. I believe in all that. Reincarnation is a fact that proved in court in New York. They did. Look it up. What was the name of that? It was a book. They just recently made a movie about it. Emily Rose, I think it was called. The Reincarnation of Emily Rose. Something along that line. You'll find it on Google. Just that'll narrow it down for AI. Pretty soon you'll not know if that's me talking to you or if it's AI. And every time I see somebody, they put a lot up about, bless them, I love her, Princess Catherine and Prince William are all up there, and it's not them. Half the time they put her in a wonderful gown. For one thing, she's got a lovely figure, but it's stick thin since she's been fighting cancer. She was always thin. And they've got this busty woman up there. I'm like, that's not Cat. They got a smiling, dancing William. That was William at 20. That's not William in his 40s. And she just celebrated her 42nd birthday. God bless her. Happy birthday. I love the royal family. Broke my heart with Princess Diana's death. And the rest, as Queen Elizabeth II passed not long after her husband, Philip. And I thought she would stay. I didn't think she would stay as long as she did. And I believe she was one of the best queens that will ever be seen in England. I'm praying that William is not the last king. Charles is having a bad time. He's trying to hang on. But I don't think he was made king until he's, 72 or 74? So he's trying his best, but he's got cancer too. This is coming down to William. I know I shouldn't judge. I try not to. All of us can't do. You're not supposed to do that. There's a good reason for that. We all go face judgment. What Harry did to his grandmother as she lay dying and wanted to see him, and he waited for that thing he calls something, and didn't get to his grandmother's side in time to say goodbye. And I didn't forgive him for that. And then I cannot forgive him for the way he's treated the rest of his family, as if it's nothing but money and a chance to make more money using his title, his mother's death, all of it. It's sick. And he needs to stop that shit. I never thought Diana's son would do that. I never in a million years thought Harry would do that. When Harry gave William his mother's engagement ring to give to Catherine, I said, I think the boy loves Cat, and he don't realize that he does. They were the Three Musketeers for years. And he was always there. They were always having a good time. And he knew his brother loved her and gave her the ring. But I believe he loved her as well. Maybe not the way people, like William or anything, but he loved her too and gave her the ring. That was an important piece that he had inherited to give to Cat. I don't think what's-her-name ever forgave him for that. And when you become royalty, like Catherine did, she walked into the role. And she was magnificent and still is, bless her. Queen Elizabeth also loved her. She loved her grandchildren, and she loved her great-grandchildren. And I've seen what Prince Andrew's done. This was while she was still alive. She went through some hard, hard times, Queen Elizabeth did. And she wrote out each one of them. And I think Charles is an okay king, I guess. I can't really follow him much because he's so sick. And I pray for him, but I don't think he's got much longer. I think William will make a wonderful king, one of the best kings that England has ever seen. And of course, behind him would be our little George. The kids kill me. Charlotte is beautiful. Uh, Camilla, and I'm not using any title with her. She's dirt. I don't think she should ever have been given a title. I just don't. The way she conducts herself is not a lady. She's not. She's just not a lady. She's not got any class, any style. She's not a lady. I don't care if they say she's a royal or not. I didn't care before all that. She was she was a home wrecking bitch, and she knew it. And she had her own husband and kids. She's sorry as fuck. And then she wanted all the Queen's jewels. Somebody should have slapped her stupid to begin with, but Williams kind of corralled her, putting her family in there and shit. I don't like the woman. I ain't never gonna like her. So we're up here, we're at a bar. I talk about anything and everything. I don't give a shit what crosses my mind. That's what this is. It's free. It's Woodstock without the mud. we can get it, man. We talk about all kind of shit. Now they will censor. They will say this can't be seen in other countries, because I've had many of my videos shut down, which is almost fun. I gotta watch me. I gotta go. What did I say? Because you gotta go. They didn't do me. What happened here? So all that was going on. So I'm trying to wrap things together here. I love the British family. I put it that way with Harry. I think you're gone. I think you should stay gone. I think what you did to your family was horrific, and I think your mother would weep if she were here. If I pray she's not weeping in heaven where I know she's at, and I'm really kind of praying she doesn't know. She loved her kids. She loved those boys. She will always love those boys, no matter what. I still love Harry and his kids. I can't say much about that thing. I've never accepted that. She's a user. I mean, I think she'd been twice divorced by the time she and Harry married. It was stupid of him. And now he's stuck. Now he's going through court to get money in England. What? You've had millions handed to you. All you had to do was be a prince. That's all you had to do. You had to go out a couple of times and meet and greet, and back your brother up, and you didn't. And you know your mother would never have agreed with it, and your grandmother certainly didn't agree with it. And I know Queen Elizabeth told you so, and she didn't like that woman, and she had good reason not to like that woman. She saw right through her. The rest of us did too. And I think Harry just kind of rebounded and watched as they were so happy, his brother and his wife, and they had kids. And he was just desperate. And he still thinks something's wrong about being a sparrow. There's nothing wrong about being a brother. There's nothing wrong about being a prince. You don't have to be a king. You don't have to worry about a word named spare. You were never spared. Yeah, if something happened, it would have went to you before the boy had family. But he's got family now. You know you're not in the succession. You should have stayed a prince. You should have stayed a brother. You should have stayed a grandson. You should have stayed a son. You didn't. You threw all of that away. You threw it away for your kids, too. And now you're trying to claw it back by going to court. Shame on you. Now, that's my little rant against Harry. Again, I'm going to cut this short today, let you know I came up just to say, hey, if you see me, throw something in the comments. I will check and I'll get back to you. I just wanted everybody to know why I wasn't going to be broadcasting. But again, it's because we have this ice storm coming. We don't know how long it's going to last and how bad it's going to hit us. And I have a bad feeling about that. I really do. I just don't think it's going to be a good thing. Cheers. I know that looks like a lot, but it's not. I like my whiskey on the rocks. And my husband buys me these whiskey fireballs, the little plain size, and it has the cinnamon burst at the end of it. So I just love those. It's a good whiskey too. But Let's see. What else do we need to touch on while I was up here, if anything? There's so much going on right now. We could just talk all day and all night long. Have a few more drinks and be funnier. I quit smoking. And I found that one of my friends came to the bar and he brought one of these. And that's just what I smoked when I was in Europe because we sold the cigarettes because they loved our American Marlboros. That was how I paid the rent because I lived off post. That's it's another book. So if anybody wants to know. Oh, all of you adoptees, I got to tell you, there's a warning. I got to give you a warning. If your blood relatives reach out to you, run, move, like across this country, change your name, your hair, talk to no one. Don't go to them. I don't know. Get them in your life. It probably won't be a good thing. For those of you who've made it, congratulations. They found me when I was 30. We were on the cover of the Parade magazine. There's a big fold out. Those things were an insert in all Sunday papers back in my day. An older family had adopted us. I mentioned before World War II and all that. So they were paid until we kids were 18. They made a monthly stipend, and they were willing to take both myself and my sister, who was 18 months younger. I'm the only remaining immediate family member. The only family I have right now, or ever will have, is my son and my two grandchildren, as far as my bloodline. And they didn't do like me and my son did at 20 and have kids because my grandson's 26. So he didn't have no babies, certainly. So I don't know how much more I'm going to worry about being a great grandmother, but we made it to grandmother. It's their lifestyle. They've got a right to do whatever they please, and they're good kids. They're good kids. My granddaughter's 13. She reminds me of Stevie Nicks in a lot of ways, the way she looks. And nowadays, you can do all this stuff online with the phone. The phone's a part of her. I think it's surgically attached, and no one told me. So I get to where I get to have a drink up here at the bar when I do broadcasts. It's the only time I have any, and I get to smoke while I'm at the bar. These are they come in packs of 5, and they go out while I'm talking. And so one of these might last 3 days. So I'm technically cheating a little bit on the not smoking, but I had kind of picked these up before, uh, and I was already broadcasting then. So I made my husband, kind of promise that, look, I'll just chill out at the bar. If I'm not at the bar, I'll try not to smoke them. So far, that's working. I used to vape, but nowadays they've changed the vape so much that my vapes are obsolete. And I had 3, and that kind of pissed me off, because you have to buy parts and stuff as you go along. So it's been like 8 years that I quit. And so, yeah, I'm indulging in a little bit of everything up here, but again, it's only the one bottle that I have while I'm up here. I don't know what's going on with people having a problem with ICE out there either. I thought I would touch on that. I've tried to stay out of politics and religion. It never works. Don't throw yourself at ICE agents, you stupid bitches. If somebody was in my face with a bullhorn, they would be in the ER getting surgery. I'd be shoving it down their throat, up their ass somewhere. Get in my face. Just test me. Get up in my face like that. You don't have no problem talking through that thing. I'm going to shove it back down your throat. I am not these nice guys. You cannot get up in people's faces and call that a peaceful protest. Use that shield. Get that pepper spray. Now, I pepper spray you and tame before you were 5 feet in front of me. I mean, step. When I say step back, I mean for you to go half a mile down the road, shut the fuck up. And when ICE in Chicago called for backup and they didn't get it, shame. Shame. That's not a police force. That's not a police force. Those are cowards. Cowards. That they didn't back up their brothers. The cowards. And that's I'll try to wrap that at that and leave that alone, which I'll still probably get censored for as I take it up. I like to do these live because I think it takes them a little longer. This bitch be talking some shit. That's what it's for. Freedom of speech, guys, use it. Use it. Get off your asses, turn it on. Look, the world around us is exploding. It's beyond belief. There's some things that beyond it's got to be apocalyptic. I've seen locusts coming through. There are all kinds of sounds in the sky that sound like horns being blown. And I mean, there's just some crappy shit going on. You look into the paranormal, you cannot say ghosts do not exist. You can't. You can't. There's too much evidence of it. There's CCTV footage. You can't get that footage. Nobody can fuck with that footage. They'll know. And yet it's there. The shadow critters, my son saw one of them in my husband's mother's home that she had left us, which thank goodness we don't live in anymore because I hated that city. It was evil. The whole city, not just a little bit. It was evil. If you lived in that city, within a year, you'd lose everything. I know. I went back 3 times because my husband's from there and his mother. And thank God I got out of that one. But he came running in. He was in his 20s, early 20s, and jumped in my lap on the couch saying he'd seen a big black shadow coming at him. And I was like, what? I said, the only thing I knew, and I've been studying the paranormal like the Warrens since the 60s, literally. And I mean, the EVPs, I haven't done all that for decades. And so I grabbed the holy water and a rosary and jumped out, and he's telling me, don't go, don't go. I was like, let go. You can't let stuff like that go on. You got to go fight. You can't say they get stronger and then you can't do it. You're not going to be able to. So off I went, I didn't know if I'd have to throw holy water in a match, but I was out there. Never found it. But I did my research because I had heard of the Shadow Man, the Hat Man, whatever. And every other video nowadays, that's what's going on. I call them peekaboos too because they do that peeking thing through, at the edge of the door, or one of them was on an airplane, and you'll see it on the footage. They won't notice it. They'll see it, it's peeking out. It's trying to get you to notice. It wants fear. I saw one that I thought was pretty good on a Ouija board. Don't play with Ouija boards. I don't know why they're selling them to children. It's a terrible thing. Don't touch them. Just don't. If somebody else is going to do that, get out of there. Because even if it's somebody else that's doing it, you don't know if they're going to get you or not. You do not know what you're dealing with. It might tell you it's your beloved grandmother, but if you could actually see what you were to, it'd be a demon 9 times out of 10, at least. It's don't fuck with that shit. Yeah, investigate. I think it should be investigated. It's not. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's a it's poltergeist. It's poltergeist." I saw one. They asked them to come in to investigate, and they were trying to do something. Everything was going crazy, and all of a sudden, somebody said something. I can't remember what it was. Something about Jesus, and everything. You heard this loud boom, and the cameras it went kind of shook, went up and down. This entire house came off its foundation upwards and slammed back down, and everything, including blinds, were twisted and mangled. Every drawer was out. Silverware was flying. Couches were. I mean, it was and in a second, this wasn't 15 minutes of people turning shit over. In 1-2 seconds, the whole house had been destroyed inside. I mean, destroyed inside. Nothing. I mean, even even though everything had popped open, some of the cupboard doors were ripped off. It was the damnedest scariest thing I've seen. Besides, there was the cop one. I loved that one. They got the body cams, and they stopped this woman. She's hit a light pole. She's just sitting in the car. She's hit a light pole. And the officer comes up, and then another one joins him. And they're going, "Ma'am, can you roll down the window?" Ma'am, she rolls down the window and says, "Thank you very much." And she rolls back out the window. They keep saying, "Roll down the window." And she goes, "Thank you very much," and roll the window. So finally they get her out of the car. And they say, "We think you're intoxicated. Do you want to do the walk and all that? Or do you want to just blow into the breathalyzer?" I'll blow it. And it went to like 5. And the cop's like, "That's not right. Can you do that again?" And she does it again, and it goes to like 9. And the cop's going, I don't think this is working right. And she said, "So I'll blow again." She blew again. It was like a 4.5. And the cop's looking at her going, "No, ma'am, this equipment can't be working right." Another, you'd be dead if you were at that level, I guess. And her eyes went straight. Both of them went straight to the side. Then both of them came back to the side. And then I think she did that twice. And then she said, "Well, what number do you want on there?" The cops freaking, the eyes were freaky as it was. And he says, "Well, let me see if about getting a different one. We'll try a different one. But you stay here. You stay right there." And he starts to go. Starts to turn, but his camera's still going. And this woman levitates about 2.5, 3 feet off of the embankment they're on, and she starts floating towards where the cop's going to go, yelling, "Get down! You got to get down!" She gets down. She floats back down, and she looks at him and she says, "Thank you very much." And this woman just went and disappeared in the air, in the air. And they are all fucked up. You know what the hell? Then they find that the person that in it, that the car and all this, and they don't know how the car got there again. But she had died 3 years ago or previously in that car at that spot. And they don't know to this day how she, of course, she was dead. The car shouldn't have been there. And it was whack. It was that one. I was like, you know, and I've been watching this shit for years. Taps really did a good job on teaching everybody how to do that for 20 years. I loved them. I don't know what happened between him and his partner, but it was sad. But they did teach a lot of people. Eric Von Daniken, bless him. May his memory be a blessing. I'm going to miss him very much. His was, I got the first book, first print that he put out, Chariots of the Gods. And it opened everybody's eyes because everybody was going by, of course, what the archaeologists said, and they were lying through their teeth. Or they actually believed that. And if they did, they really should have got their money back for those diplomas. So yeah, we go through that too. I like to talk about anything and everything. Whatever's on your mind, pop in. Pop in. I got friends, but they won't let me interview them because they just think that they wonder how I get up here and do it. They're shy, I guess, but they wonder how I do it. And I do it because it's fucking fun. And I'm at the bar. So I don't give a shit. Come on up and talk to me. I got some new viewers and I welcome everybody. Hey guys, mwah, love y'all. Come see me, tell your friends. Like I said, it's free for God's sakes. And it's just a little bip, and then you can come out and watch the little drunk lady find out what she's doing. Let's see, my time is almost up. And I fidget. I'm sorry. When I get up here, I tend to fidget. Once I've had a drink, I really start to really fidget. So be warned. I could have another one, but I'm trying not to do that. So everybody stay really safe out there. If you're in Georgia, get your supplies today. Don't move for the next at least 2 days. Don't put your car out there. Don't get out there. Those areas need to be safe and they need to be clear. The Georgia governor, Kemp, has already declared a state of emergency. They're pulling resources from everywhere. They got 500 National Guard on standby. Again, Georgia's not made for this, especially when you get down past Macon. You're at the Florida line almost. So none of that area, unless they've started preparing it. I've left it 15 years ago, but they weren't ready. But they weren't ready here either. 10 years back, I think it's hard to say it's that. But it is because my grandson was here and he was 13 and he's 26 now. So it's been a long time. But we were outside. We went outside after the worst of the event. We thought it was over, and trees started doing that, imploding. They didn't go this way; they went this way. And I've never seen anything like that in my life. And it was not the dead trees; it was the live trees. I mean, just you'd see it, and they just down they go. It was not. It's not like they went in little pieces either. So you didn't know which way limbs were flying. You know, and I was like, I had gone out with my grandson out that morning. She had snow and you had ice, and we went out to make snow angels, things like that. But the trees were imploding, and we're like, oh my god! And I still had a dog, my Smokey Bear. I love that baby. I miss him. He would always say, "I love you, I love you." You know how dogs talk, especially huskies. He was Husky, cinnamon, and beautiful, beautiful. We lost him too soon. We had to let him go because he was suffering, but I still say someone poisoned him. In any event, we were watching as those trees came down, and I'm trying to get my grandson in and trying to get my dog in, and my dog's going crazy, and you're watching two, three, four trees come down in your neighbor's area. We're just out in the front yard, and we're like, oh my God, and I'm trying to get the kid in the house. And we were surrounded, like I said, by trees. We're now missing, I think, 6 trees in the yard alone without the back acreage and stuff and all those. So we had suffered a lot of damage during the ice storm. And that was another one. And it took down my gazebo, but it didn't get the roof badly. We did have a new roof put on. So we've had some times out here now in Augusta. This is all new weather for us. The earthquakes, we've had two here. A little strange. So I've been through four earthquakes because I went through one in Hawkinsville too. So I've seen some earthquakes. If you ask me, things are getting biblical. I don't trust the Catholic Church, although I did have my son baptized. And believe how hard it is to stand around a room and get your kid baptized by the Pope. The Pope doesn't really do it. They have somebody else come along. You pay a lot of money. But I wanted him baptized, and I was overseas anyway. So, I went to Italy and had some fun, paid a lot of money. Back then, you used marks and francs and lira. Now it's the European currency. I think that was one of the stupidest things they could have ever done. I see that also a lot of them, a lot of the countries are smart enough to close their borders, and some of them have also made laws you can't wear the hijab, you can't cover your head, do all that shit. You shouldn't be able to. If you want to do that, go back to Arab countries. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. We're not trying to get rid of you. We're saying this is how we live. If you don't like how we live, you should not be here. You should be somewhere else. Like the Somalians. I love this. It's fun watching them get those Maserati. Almost as fun as those boats going. We don't deserve him. He's a great president, I think. However, I got to say, I don't know my kids anymore, or kids. I don't know my grandkids anymore. We were always tight. I mean, we could finish each other's sentences. And they have that Trump derangement syndrome. I was shocked, especially with my grandson. We had a shouting match, and my husband had to he intervened. It's like, you can't talk to your grandmother like that. And I was like, no, no, it's my fault too. I'm screaming too because I'm like, I don't know who the fuck he is. I think he needs to get out of my house. But so yeah, there's like a lot going on that we don't get anymore. We don't understand anymore. Uh, my granddaughter basically is homeschooled. I don't agree with that, and yet I do agree with that. It's a crazy, fucked up world, and this is why I love this medium. I think it's a wonderful tool. I think we should get up here and we should say anything and everything. We should talk. We should get up here and go, what the fuck is the next thing? I've seen them put the chips in, and they started doing it with the military. And one woman waited, she already had it in her hand. She was ready to go to the PX to show her husband. They ran through $200, and she passed her hand over there. He's like, what did you just do? He did not know she had the chip implanted. And he's like, I'm not doing that shit. A lot of us aren't going to take the mark, whatever the mark will be. We used to think it was Social Security, and it's going to be built off that because without it, you can't buy, sell, or trade. And they're already close to that. Yeah, already telling you pretty much what you eat, what you can't eat, what you have. The money they took from you, your entire working career is now peddled out to you, and you're told that you should be grateful for this payout. It's your money, but they act like it's their money. Well, that's because they've been using your money for at least 50 years, because I know I've been pissed about it since a teenager. And I got my first check, and I was like, who the fuck are these people who are taking my money? And then when you do retire, they tell you you can have this much. And I'm like, fuck you. But they frown on that. So don't do that. Actually, they did a pretty good job of me. But I didn't like being told like a half. Oh, it's still lit. I should get off of here, though. It's been almost my hour. And I'm sure you're all tired of hearing me anyway. I didn't see anybody on live chat today. Miss you guys. Sure wish you were up here, but you're not. So I guess we'll have to deal with what we got. Yeah, I miss that. I miss that. Miss that. I wish y'all would find me on my other channel. If you do see me, please throw some stuff in here. Let me know you've seen it. Tell me if you had a good time or not. Talk to me. Get up here on live chat. That's why I throw live chat on. And I have several uh, pieces of equipment. My husband keeps buying me more stuff. If you're in the Augusta area and you would like to come on the show, God bless you. But let me know. Put it in the comments. Uh, I'll let you have my email and all that so that we can make it a certain hour, an appointment, and all that. I'm not used to having guests. Again, I really do not show. I'm kind of like Joe Rogan and uh, Bill Maher on that. I'd rather just go up here and talk to you. I figured, like I said, if you want to see a clip, I'll throw the clip up there and we can talk about it. But you really don't need to show the clip because you've all seen it for 100,000 times. So it's to me, it's like a little plagiarism to go over and take somebody else's shit so you can talk about it. I don't need it. I don't want to talk about it anyway. So, all of you in Georgia, please, again, do get your stuff. Stay at home for the next couple of days until we see how this is going to work. And in the meantime, have fun with it. If you're at home, you're stuck at home. Don't be going, oh, I'm stuck at home. Go, hey, cool, I don't have to be anywhere. Have a drink, work with the kids, do something, whatever you want to do. Come see me. Talk to your friends about it. Subscribe, hit the like, do something for me. I'm an old lady with a big drinking habit. Not really, but sounds like fun. I'm going to dash because my time is up. I usually don't go over an hour. God bless everybody out there. Stay safe. Come and see me. If you have seen me, subscribe for God's sakes. Click on that bitch. They like that shit. Something about algorithms. I don't know. I miss everybody, and I think this is a good medium for all of us. Let's use it. Let's show them what we really think about, guys. And they don't call me a baby boomer, and they better not do it to my face. I'm a hippie and a veteran, which is a dangerous combination. We'll talk about that next time. So I'll probably see you all next week. In the meantime, again, take care. God bless.